7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call: Chisman.
Present.
Benge.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
VanDorin.
Present.
Cope.
Present.
I will take a motion to approve our agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve our agenda this evening.
Motion by Cope,
I'll second it.
second by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
All rise. I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda for tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Chisman,
I'll second.
second by Cope. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Mayor's report. Mayor's notes for March 11th, 2019. The previous month was kind of quiet with the weather wreaking havoc on many events in town and the surrounding area. That being said, I hope the last couple of days is an indication that the long cold winter is over. I wish I could make a mayoral decree to ensure this, but to be the case, but Mother Nature has her own mind, so we'll just hope we're done, okay, and move on with this nice weather. We did have a public hearing and approval of the 2020 budget last Monday, March 4th. The budget passed unanimously. This is the second year I and myself and the council have prepared the budget in-house, which I'm very proud of. I like it better for us to do this and see where our money will be spent as opposed to someone who doesn't live here trying to tell us where our money goes. So it's nice that we do this on our own. Thanks to the council and Ina for a couple of extra meetings, a couple extra nights of work to make sure everything was done on time and everything filed the way it was needed to be. The city's application to discharge our wastewater was prepared by Joe Crickham, our wastewater superintendent. I signed that today. It's ready to be sent to the DNR. The permit allows us to discharge the lagoons twice a year for 5 years, and it'll need to be reapplied every 5 years for us to be allowed to continue to run the lagoons down there. So we have one more on the current contract or current permit, and then we start November. This needed to be done 6 months in advance so we can keep doing it in November. So got that done. It's prepared, ready to be sent in as soon as possible. So that's all for me. I'll see Sheriff Phillips just walked in. Don, turn it over to you.
Thanks, Mayor. As I told you, each month I'll myself or my chief deputy will be at your guys' city council meeting, and I haven't named a chief deputy yet. I will this week. So with that being said, the supervisors approved the budget on the 5th of March. We are getting 2 deputies we're hiring. One will be on the road, and the other one will be a school resource officer for Cardinal School District. They've been wanting one, so we should be entering in a contract here and that'll start July 1st. And when school is not in session, that deputy will work the road for us. And then we're taking on a contract with the agency also for 30 hours a month. With those additional people, that won't affect anything with our service up here that we're providing with you folks. Also here at the end of February, I put in a traffic grant. We get a traffic grant each year for overtime, and I've asked for a speed trailer. The idea of the speed trailer is to take that to each community where we're having issues with people speeding and being a problem, and that'll be, like for example, I bring it to Blakesburg for a week. It'll be up here for a week, and then we'll take it in, charge it up, and then take it to another community for a week. So basically, every 5th or 6th week, it should be back in Blakesburg. It's kind of the idea of it. Obviously that those things can learn as we go with that deal there. I think that's it. If you folks have any questions for me, concerns, or anybody?
No, I don't think so. I want to thank you for your work here this week and last week with what, problem we've had for quite a while, getting on that and doing something about that. So we appreciate that. We can only do so much as city council,
Yeah. So I think that we tried to make contact with them. Maybe, I don't know if the mayor told you, but we tried to make contact with them at the house. We figured they were there, but they weren't answering. So I had them go down to Perks, and I'd just soon not bother somebody at work, but they want to dodge us and hide from us, and that's the way it goes. But I think the deputy talked to JP down there and informed him to have her answer the door, otherwise we'll just issue a warrant for her. So she did, and that's what the mayor said, that the trailer was gone. So those other issues with the vehicles, if you know, if we need to address those at some point that are parked on the public right away, just let me know, okay?
Yep.
So, all right.
Absolutely.
I think that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
I think we're good for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any public comments? Okay, no public comments, we'll move on. Old business. We discussed a while back security cameras, and we went and we got a couple estimates from a couple different places. ADT, which is a monthly deal. They come in and they install it. They still own the equipment. They charge you a monthly fee to operate it. It would be my recommendation we go with the other one, which is PCS, Professional Computer Solutions out of Atumwa. They come in and install it, and then we own the stuff. We don't have to pay a monthly fee. It's ours. We have it here. Again, like Kevin said, Kevin's mentioned that we don't have to buy all the cameras at once. Like if we have up to 8 cameras with this, and if we want to do it in increments, we can. I'd be for all just getting it done at once. Is there anything else? Am I missing anything?
We were going to use the $1,000 safety grant and the memorial fund as part of it. So there was 906 left in the memorial fund and 1,000 from the grant.
Yeah, and what we got received from the Carl Leffler Memorial, we had $900 left after the tree and the plaque. We kind of decided we could put that toward this, and along with the $1,000 ICAP grant. So that knocks it down to where we're only paying $1,900 out of pocket. I think it's something that we definitely need up here, considering we have the camera, but we have no way to access it because there's no username or password. So we can see it and we can see what's going on, and we can go back and in that room, but we've got no remote access to anything. So I guess my recommendation is we approve purchasing the cameras from PCS and move forward with their installation.
The other thing that is optional is the cabinet there. That's only 326, so that wouldn't cut down a lot on it.
Yeah.
How many cameras are we gonna start out with initially?
I believe there was 8.
And some of those will be outdoor cameras?
We'll have them out.
Probably have, I think we were thinking in the talk, probably one off the side door, a little there, maybe one off the end at the garage door. Might see part way into the street, not sure. The one I definitely want, and it's my understanding, he thought we could put a sign up about audio. That one by the hallway, by the window, will have audio on it that will start automatically when the motion, somebody walks in, the camera will detect the motion, the audio will start. What did he say the delay be after they left? There'll be a few seconds delay, but basically it will record what's said by the window. So
If anybody comes in and makes a threat or something like that.
yeah, well, I definitely want one by the window.
Yeah, I think that's very smart of us to do.
And like Dinah said, if we don't want the cabinet, and that takes $300 off, so that knocks it down to just $1,600 out of pocket. So I think that'd be I think this is, we definitely need something, and I think that's the way to go. I guess I'll take a motion one way or the other. I'd like to see us approve purchasing the equipment. from
As far as
PCS.
that, the Carl Leffler Memorial, you have a tree already paid for, picked out?
Tree's planted.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in the park already. Yep, the tree they got planted in the fall, early fall. And I have the a stand and a memorial plaque in here. We just, about the time we got it, snow started flying and the ground got rock hard and wasn't no putting it up yet, so. Grandma was happy with everything. Dad showed it to her, brought it in and showed it to her. Yep, so she's happy with everything that we've got for them, so. Like she told me what happens, and I asked her what she wanted us to do with whatever was left, and, well, it's yours, do whatever you want with it. She's kind of gruff every once in a while, and she wanted us to do what we needed, and I think this is something we kind of been kicking down the road a little bit, kind of neat, so.
Carl would like to come up and sit and watch that.
Yeah, he come up, sit and watch him a little bit, I bet. Yeah, I wish he was still around to do that with us.
I make a motion to buy security cameras.
Motion by Benge,
Second.
second by Smith, all in favor? Opposed? No opposed.
We are doing that with the wall mount rack, and I would just do the whole thing, right?
Benge made the motion, were you motioning with everything?
With everything.
With
voted.
everything.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
Okay,
Yep.
yep.
Oh, can you use those Walmart?
That's a good question.
They can use those.
After, and we can talk to him, yeah, and we'll see, maybe that will take a little bit off the cost if we can use some of the amounts that are currently up
Yeah,
there.
I'm trying to remember exactly what he said. I mean, he looked at everything. So I think he's got access to get up there, I'm almost sure, because the other guys were, he's asking about that.
All right, new business. First thing on new business is, all of you got the letter. Gary giving us his last day being April 30th, 2019. So I need a motion to accept the resignation of Gary Collett as Blakesburg City Manager.
I really don't want to do it, but I'll give you a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion by Smith,
I'll second.
second by Cope. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed. Okay. And now with that, we need to set a date to post the maintenance job opening. And then we also need to review the job description a little bit. Did I leave that in here, or was
I
that?
don't think it's in here, and we're actually gonna decide on the job description next month. We're just gonna talk about how it needs
Okay.
updated and changed.
I guess my feelings on that, we probably need to get a date set. I mean, to post the position.
And the date for actually doing the interviews and filling them.
I would like, as soon as possible, as far as getting it out there, so we can see who's interested in the position. Get it posted in the paper. As soon as we can get it posted in the paper. As far as hiring date, I'd like to have somebody in here, possibly Gary's last week, to work with him. And I think Gary, if we needed to call Gary and needed help finding, like, where all the, having them take them around and show them where all the water meters and stuff are, I think whoever the person that gets hired, yeah.
Would this be a good time to go with Gary and make us, I don't want to call it a map, but write that down, so if there is a lag between us getting somebody, we can not get in the mess we got in a few years ago,
And that's my,
and keep them read regularly, you know.
Who's gonna read them?
and that's my deal.
I'm willing to go around, I'd like to have somebody go with me, but I'll do it.
I'm on record, I will not read water meters.
Well, what I'm talking about is going around with Gary to write the locations down, so that if we do fall in that situation, we don't have somebody, we at least know where they're at, we're not wandering
I
around.
don't want to
I
get in
guess
that
that's why-
situation. Let's get somebody hired so we don't get in.
And that's why I'm wanting to post it, have them hired so they can work with Gary for a week, so Gary can kind of take them around and show them, and then if they have questions, get a rapport with Gary, so that if he needs to call, then Gary will be able to help him out with his answer. Because Gary's, I mean, I don't think he'll leave us high and dry. If we need help, he'll gladly help.
But I think that's information we should have in City Hall. where
And
there's.
I don't disagree with that either. I agree with you. I think we need to probably document it. Maybe he can, as he's going around this time, can read them, can make notations out of it for us, in case we do, like you said, fall into a trap or not a trap, but a situation where.
I don't wanna go back to what we did last time.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely not.
We will not do that, yeah. We won't
No,
do
it's,
that.
well, the other thing is, even a month, I guess the only way to say it, there's no way.
On the agenda for next month, that if we wanna, I mean, if he's willing to do that, that we'll continue to pay him while he helps.
Yeah,
We could do,
because if the week, if that week don't work out, where that guy
right.
can work with him. then, none of us council members have any business going down there and trying to show him wow.
No.
Gary's office, so, just so that's understood. Okay.
So how's that timeline work? March 19th, post, April 5th, close, April 9th, interview, April 15th, hire. And then that'll give whoever 2 weeks, they put their 2 weeks notice in, and if they can get away by the given a week, they could work with Gary for an entire week before before Gary took off. And that'll hopefully get us to where without no lag. I'll take a motion to approve the setting of the dates. And will this motion include the changing of the job description as well?
No.
No? That was just discussion? Okay. So I need a motion to agree to the timeline for the dates of posting the position for the maintenance job.
I'll make a motion that we follow your timeline
Second.
on the posting.
Motion by Chisman, second by VanDorin, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now something we talked to Gary about today, and Larry had been kind of helping out with this a little bit, is the snowplow repairs. The blade hasn't been working properly, something to do with the hydraulic, correct, Larry, or the arm? We called Snowman, and the guy said to bring it down because he thought it was the case on the inside.
They hadn't flushed it, they didn't flush it.
Yeah.
But they thought it was the case was cracked or something, sucking air. And it's aluminum. It's like $4,000 for this little.
1,800, I thought he said, I can check.
Well, it just depends on the size.
The size.
But Gary flushed it today and hoping that would work. He did it himself instead of taking it down there. Didn't work. So,
No,
yeah,
because
and nothing goes that well for us.
someone wanted us to take, he thought we might get lucky.
Yeah, so he and that's what Gary called him first, and he goes, if I brought that down, what were you gonna do? And so we were gonna flush it and see if that worked. So Gary says, well, hell, I can do that here. He goes, so he did, and then that wasn't the deal, so. He also said, Gary did, that hopefully we're done with snow now, and maybe, he said it's kind of like buying an air conditioner in the summertime. He goes, they're always more expensive in the summer when somebody needs one. He says if we can find a part somewhere, I'll get on Craigslist and see if we can find something that we might be able to do something cheaper in the off time. So as far as that goes, I think we definitely need to repair that arm before next winter. I don't think it's something that we need to rush into now. If we can find a cheap part somewhere to fix it, so.
Was the truck running okay then now? Because he was having some problems with it, or?
Hasn't mentioned anything
good.
yet. Actually, I think when we took it, Larry took it down to Bloomfield, it ran fine for you going down there and back. I don't know, I guess it was last summer that I drove it, but it ran good for me.
Stayed up
I
with
hope he's
the
not jinxing us.
Yeah. We did look at new trucks with plows on the front, just not new ones, new to us, a used one,
That's
but,
why it's pretty.
yeah, it was about $6,500, but when you get to thinking that, it might cost us $1,800 for a casing, that, I don't think we need a new truck yet, though.
How big was it? Fine.
It's really, it looked good in the pictures up in Des Moines. And,
But you get up to that, they got a CDL to drive it.
Right.
Yeah, your, probably options on the plow are gonna be fixing the one we got. I'll tell you, a lot of cities, it's surprising, Craigslist, maybe pick one up used, that'll get us by. I got a pretty good idea what a new one's gonna cost. And I don't know if I wanna talk about that or not.
Did this fellow or Bloomfield, did he handle the brand stuff or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he told me the box, if that'll fix it, I thought he said around 1,800, but you've talked to him since then, haven't you?
And he said, it
So-
just depends on,
He sold one to the city of Bloomfield new, he told me, you might as well figure $8,000 to $9,000 for broken or new one.
Wow.
And I think we can shop that, maybe do better, but it's,
but they said if we had any problems with any of it later, once we get it fixed, just call them up. So we bring it over and run it right to the shop and they'll fix it.
yeah.
They got all the parts.
He seemed okay. When he suggested flushing that, he said, I don't know if my guys did it, bring it back up. I thought, you know, he's trying. He thought we might get lucky, so.
Yeah, we need to get that one bracket back on so we can get our
We saw
skid
that,
steer.
he saw that, and he said, he said, that's,
Did he say anything about a center gate shoe?
yeah, he said, he looked at all over when he did it. He says it needs loving care.
Need some TLC, yeah.
TLC.
He says it can be fixed.
So I guess that's where we are on that. We don't need to vote on anything. That was kind of discussion and let you guys know where we were on it.
You gotta table it until.
Do you want me to approve, do you want to approve me looking into seeing how much all that stuff's gonna cost? And
Let's
we'll
find
bring
it.
it back to you?
Let's find out.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
Well, I'll accept the motion then to approve me looking into how much it's gonna cost to get that fixed right now.
I'll make a motion that you. look-
Research the plow.
Yes.
I'll second
Motion by Coe, second by VanDorin, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, last summer and after the storm, Jerry and Kevin, and I think Larry was around a little bit when they, we took the bushes out and the gals at the, thank you, garden club, are gonna plant some flowers where the bushes used to be, and right where those bushes go, that big concrete slab in the park, it's an old well. I think if we're gonna have those ladies do that and fix it up and kind of, I think they're wanting to plant a tree still in there too. It's not, again, it's not something that's pressing, but it's just, I mean, somebody trip over that thing's kind of been there forever and.
Well, the county pays, they pay farmers to fill in
State.
wells.
State
or
does.
State does.
State will
So-
give you money to fill them in, that's a safety
So we
issue.
ought to just do it anyway and have it be done with.
Reach out to the state and see about getting it done. Okay. So,
It's a safety issue.
okay, and that's what,
Talking about well, isn't there a well up there where the fountain is? Has that been filled? Anybody
I
know?
think it was filled when they put
Stuff around it?
the water, as they ran the water line up there. So I think the water line's right there where the well was.
Most of the old timers, I guess, are gone, but there was a well there at one time, that pumped and
You
everything.
pump and put your hand in it and the fountain. Just get a lot of people with it.
okay, so I guess I will entertain a motion there to, for you guys to grant me permission to reach out to the state to see about getting that well filled in the park.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we get ahold of the state and find out what, I think they just fill it with sand and vent night and they pay for all of it. Usually have a guy come out and check it when you put the vent night in.
This, I can't think of his name.
Bill Ward?
Bill Ward does it.
Yeah, there's a list of guys on the internet. I mean,
He's right there from Moravia.
Yeah.
So motion by Van
I
Dorn,
Oh,
thought the county helped. those.
second by Chisman, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd say to probably contact him, he can probably tell you who to
Who we
contact.
get a hold of? No, I can do that. Vacation this week, so. I will do that this week. I guess, guys, we're done.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Benge.
I had one thing first.
Okay.
Oh,
I was wondering if you got a hold of Klein about the trees out there.
I talked to Klein, he said that they would take care of it, but I'll check with him again and ask him if he wants us
See,
to.
if it's an
burn it.
imposition for them, I don't know if it's something we need to do. They let us put the trees there, the way the weather's been, we could need another spot to put trees.
Right.
I know he's able to put some
On Buddy.
on Buddy, but if it gets muddy, we can't get down there, where this area is gravel, so that's a pretty big deal if we would have another, I mean, we still have a lot of them elms around that.
I'll talk to
Pretty
him
good deal
again.
there. You know, I don't want to impose them in any way, and just to dump them there.
I'll
It may
check.
not be in their way now, but it would be in our way.
If we had to take
another
more.
disaster, so.
Yeah, and I'll talk to him again, but yeah, he didn't seem all that concerned with it, and like they did take care of it, but if we can help, we'll help. I'll just put it out there again.
Spring, you know, just because.
It's kind of wet now, and
Yeah.
yeah, if we could get it burnt before we get.
It'll green up one of these days, so it should be, hopefully it'll green up one of these days.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, I had a motion from Benge to adjourn. Do I got a second? Second by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Not official till you